As we get ready for service, just hold a moment of thought and prayer and say, thank you, God. Mahalo ke akua for the blessings this day brings. As we share the light of love and unity with the world, we say, mahalo ke akua. Give us the strength we need to be a perfect service. And so it is. Amen. Please ask you to shut your cell phones down as we get prepared for service. Aku mau mau. Aku mau mau pa. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no. Awe mele oh my. Oh my. Oh my. E ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no. Awe mele e ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no. Awe mele e. Aloha kakao. Welcome, Unity of Kona, o kakaiaka e komo mai. Good morning and welcome as we start the service with the Hawaiian prayer chant, the Eo Mai. Beseeching the Great Spirit for the wisdom, the 3-octave chant for the stories being told. Why would they be telling these stories to our children in the highest octave? Beseeching the Great Spirit and our ancestors with the Eo Mai for the wisdom of life experiences that become our stories. With this knowledge, we never have to repeat them over and over again. So a fitting chant to start the service. Welcome, my friends, Unity of Kona. And so what an honor it is to be here in beautiful Kailua, Kona, Hawaii, sending it out to the world. And so welcome and definitely aloha. As we get started with our service, I'll please ask you to all stand as we get together and do our affirmation for the month, vision, and mission statements. Here we are in the month of August. Elevating our integrity and awareness together. I embrace conscious living in leading in integrity, gratitude, and my unique genius. And so it is. Here at Unity of Kona, we do come together with a vision. A world family of oneness, peace, and love, with our mission to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. And so it is. And while we got everybody standing, we're going to do our opening song. So we'll get a couple people up here with some music. Grab me one of those if you would. Thank you. And as we come together this morning. Oh, stand together. Okay.
It's about together.
It's about togetherness. Yeah. All right. We come together, right?
Stand together.
Stand together. Okay. You know, stand together. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. I got you. We can rock this. All right. Better turn that mic on.
Something great is happening. Love is taking hold and it won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. We're drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live a dream of the highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones that can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts to the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Oh, Every day's a chance you can do something amazing. Feel your passion blazing and shine. Yes. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of the highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts to the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Ooh-oh.
One voice, one voice, one heart, one word,
One world,
one dream,
one voice,
one heart, one word.
stand together.
One dream, one voice,
Stand,
one heart,
stand,
one word.
stand.
Together.
The
the dream of the highest calling, with the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together, sharing gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
Woohoo! And while we're all standing, it's time to take a moment and greet your neighbor here in the sanctuary. And if you're joining us online, good to see you, brother. And just leave a little comment in the comment section in the Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, wherever you're watching from. We like to greet everybody, but here in the sanctuary, we need a moment of fellowship. So give us just a moment while we say hello. Good morning. Woohoo! It's always so nice to have everybody in the sanctuary. Give everybody a moment to say good morning. What an honor it is to be here and sharing the fellowship and the light of God within us all. Let's all come together in unity. Can't we all just get along? Sharing a little bit of aloha go a long way. So aloha kakao. And so now is the time in our service where we welcome our guests and visitors. So if you're new here, or maybe it's been a while since you've been here on the island, we'd ask you to please stand and give us your name and maybe where you're from. If you'd like to, please. Anyone in the sanctuary? Here we go. Hi, Lauren. Okay. Where are you from, Lauren? Oh, so he's a local boy. Well, welcome, Lauren. All right. Yeah. I guess that's everybody that wants to stand up here. Well, we got you. And if you're joining us online, leaving a little comment, we'd like to send it out with everybody here. Aloha, and God bless you. Thank you for joining us here this morning. And what an honor it is to be here. Beautiful day here in Kailua Kona as we get a little spoiled. It's just the way it is here. You got to come visit us and share some of this aloha spirit. I think we could change the world with a little more aloha. Can't we all just get along? Yeah, absolutely. And so now with that, don't forget to join us upstairs for refreshments. I saw 2 or 3 crock pots walking in the door. So we got some food happening for after service. So come and share a little fellowship with us here upstairs after the service. And now for announcements. First and foremost, we here at Unity are a prayer ministry. We've got the prayer request forms in the back of the sanctuary. There's a little box to drop them in. There's also prayer requests in a box upstairs in the office area. So please fill out these prayer request forms. When we pray over them here, our chaplains pray over them and then send them on to Silent Unity. Silent Unity is in Lee Summit, Missouri, where the prayer vigil is continuous 30 days, 24 hours a day, consecutive prayer. The lights never shut off. And so they also have the Be Unity app. With that Be Unity app, download it on your Android or cell phone and iPhone, however you want to make it happen. With that, you get all the things that you might need. You beunity.org, download that app and submit prayer requests directly to Silent Unity. Watch inspirational videos and meditations, as well as accessing hundreds of articles. So this is our start of our announcements, and I've asked Patrick to come up and finish the rest of the announcements. So thank you, Patrick.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, so to start out, we are recognizing our team member of the month, Clyde. Mahalo, Clyde, for your loving service to our spiritual center. We're so blessed to have you at Unity of Kona. Clyde facilitates the weekly Qigong class on Mondays and does the monthly drumming circle. He provides Reiki energy during healing services. He's a greeter, as he's doing today. He cleans our facility monthly, helps us set up and tear down Circulation Day, always volunteers to decorate for the holidays. It's easier to say what Clyde doesn't do than to say all the things that he does do for our church. And so we are just truly blessed to have you here, Clyde. Thank you so much. Mahalo. Today at noon, we have our crystal healing session and individual energy healing. We hope you can stay and join us after fellowship. That'll be at noon once again. Clyde facilitates the weekly Qigong class on Monday mornings from 8 to 8:45 at Old Airport State Beach Park. It's to just hang a left as soon as you go through the gate. You'll find him out there. On Monday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m., Dondi leads the Ukulele Kani Kapila style jam sessions from beginners to experts here in the sanctuary. Bring your uk. There's some available to use, so come learn, play, and share. Reverend Sophia facilitates Wisdom Wednesdays from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. This is a weekly virtual gathering for Unity members and like-minded individuals to engage in inspirational teachings, affirmative prayer, and guided meditations, creating a sacred space for spiritual growth and community support. The Zoom link will be posted in the newsletter and on Facebook. Join us for an evening of meditation and sound bath this upcoming Friday, August 16th, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. here in the sanctuary, facilitated by Kayla and myself. We are also excited to announce Kayla and Sasha will facilitate a women's workshop, Shifting the Stress, on Saturday, August 31st from 1 to 3 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time here at Unity of Kona. There's a flyer upstairs that provides a link to register, and information will be provided in the... Thank you, Jim. And as you know, it takes a village to run our spiritual center, and we appreciate everyone. Kindly consider supporting Unity of Kona by becoming a contributor and sharing your time, talent, and treasure. There are several sign-up sheets in the back of the sanctuary, and there's also a refreshment sign-up sheet upstairs by the food. Mahalo, everybody.
Mahalo nui, Patrick. Excuse me. Thank you so very much. Pardon me. And with that, definitely, it's a fellowship moment, so please enjoy. Get comfortable where you're at as we get ready to do our daily word. And today I have Tani Golden coming up to do our daily word. So give her a big hand, my friends. Thank you, Tani.
Good morning. I live an abundant life. It's also prosperity is the subject. It often has been said, you can't take it with you. While it is true that money and material possessions must be left behind when I transition from this life, these things are not the source of my prosperity. My true wealth lies in my consciousness, my ability to give and receive love, to share what I have and receive from others with equal joy, to understand and use the creative power of thought, and to know myself and all people as living expressions of the divine. I live consciously and abundantly, making wise use of the earth's resources and drawing upon the limitless storehouse of divine ideas. Through the power of God within me, I enrich my life physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Matthew 6:20 says, "But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal." All right, I live an abundant life.
Let's do that together. I live in an abundant life, and so it is. Thank you, Tani. God bless you, dear sister. And as we move forward, now it's time to get comfortable where you sit and just plant your feet flat on the floor as we get ready to visualize the sanctuary. And as I also get ready to visualize the sanctuary of your soul, you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. And now as we relax, we'll take a deep breath. As we breathe in this light of God that's within us, we fill our hearts, and we see this all as a beautiful heart. Visualize the sanctuary as well as the sanctuary of your soul. And as we feel the loving energy of those around us flowing in and through us, see that loving energy flowing around every person, every being in this sanctuary, and spreading out to every person on this earth and in this world. And if you now know of any circumstances or events in your life or anyone that you know in need of prayer, let's take a moment and breathe into this space we've just created, this most beautiful, loving heart. As we come together now to do our prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Mahalo ke akua amene. Thank you, God. And now we have some special music coming from a special artist here live this morning, and it's Faith Rivera. She's coming over from Oahu, and she's a Grammy-nominated, Emmy Award-winning singer-songwriter sharing her time, talent, and treasures. What an honor it is to have Faith Rivera live with us this morning. Thank you, Faith.
Whoa. Aloha, everybody. Do you need a breath like that? I did. As always, it's a joy to be with you. I don't know how long I've been here with you. A decade more? All I know is you're our big island ohana. And I love that. In the spirit of the talk, which was talking about this abundant life, and Kayla's talk, which is going to be about, I believe, practicing integrity. Yeah. I have this song entitled Called to Be, which I think that's part of living. It is living in a life of integrity when you can really know who you are and really listen to all that we're being called to. So this is Called to Be. I am called to be a healer for all humanity. I am called to be a dreamer, believe in what can be. I am called to be a maker, be an instrument of peace. I am called to Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faith. God bless you. It's an honor to have you here this morning and see you and your family. It's what a blessing. Welcome back to the Big Island. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So now's the time in the service we'll do our meditation and message. And today we have our president of the board coming forward, and Kayla Harvey is amazing. She's so involved here at the church, and she does healing work and quantum healing, hypnosis, and techniques, and practitioners, and licensed working on her licensed Unity teacher certification. And so she does so much here. We just know everybody knows her and loves her. Welcome, my friends, Kayla Harvey.
All right, let's take a moment to get ourselves in a comfortable space to just center into a meditation today. Settle into a comfortable spot and gently close your eyes if that feels good. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold for just a moment. And then release. Take a few more deep breaths here and allow your body to relax deeper with each exhalation. Feel into your center. Bring your awareness to your heart space. Using your imagination, imagine standing in this heart space in the middle of a peaceful stream. Its gentle waters flow all around you, kissing your skin, vibrant light. The stream flows with connective divine energy within you. Relaxing into the sparkling, gently moving water. You may even let yourself float. Lay back, relax into the stream. Feel the current embracing and supporting you, guiding you effortlessly. Notice how the water flows with ease. Each tributary you see joining the flow is a part of yourself, joining the state of congruence and alignment with your divine center. Visualize this stream carrying away any worries or misalignments. Let the current wash over you, cleansing and refreshing your spirit. Feel how the river flows and helps you retain that harmony with your inner truth. Visualize the water as it dances and glides, getting clearer and clearer, helping you see a sense of clarity in your own purpose. Allow this flow to gently align your thoughts, emotions, and actions, bringing this sense of balance and wholeness deep within. There is a lifting of and an emotional freedom that exists in this space. Embrace the feeling of being perfectly in tune with this natural current, always within you. Let it gently carry you forward to a space where you can again stand, cleansed, whole, clear. And take a moment in this sense of wholeness and integrity that you can feel deep within your being. When you're ready, slowly bring your awareness back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes and stretch anything that needs stretching. Coming back into this room together, whole and aligned. Welcome, everyone. Glad to be here together today. Now that we're a little more aligned and clear, we are 6 weeks into our 15-week study of the book, 15 Conscious Commitments to Leadership, Conscious Leadership, and as Sophia likes to say, conscious living. And when I looked at what I was scheduled to talk about for my next commitment, integrity, I didn't really think that sounded so fun. Not like curiosity did, right? My last one, I can get into that. Integrity, that sounds like doing what you're supposed to do. And most people's definition of integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's watching, which, it's fine. That's a good thing to do the right thing, but I don't know about you, the right thing can sometimes feel a little confusing. Because I start to think it has something to do with what people think I'm supposed to do and what others want. And sometimes those are very different things from people. And so as a people pleaser, naturally, this sounds exhausting to me. So I wasn't excited at the prospect of doing this initially. But reading the chapter, I got a little more excited because they propose a new way of looking at it. And I want to read you a quote that I loved that finally got me into it, thinking, okay, all right, this is something I want to read about. This is something for me. It says, we want to look at integrity not so much as doing the right thing or conforming to a moral or ethical code, but rather as facilitating a flow of energy. Ooh. I like that. Facilitating a flow of energy. I think we can all get behind that. We talk about being in the flow and being in the flow of divine consciousness all the time, don't we? And they propose this is a path of doing so through living in congruence and alignment with ourself, our divine self. So that's what we're going to explore deeper. What does it mean to be in congruence and alignment to facilitate a flow of energy? Well, it starts by taking a look at what the word integrity means. Integrity, if you look at its Latin root, comes from integer, which means intact. And if we also see the word integer is the word for whole number. This is starting to give us clues already that we're talking about wholeness of character. Wholeness of character. I like that. So when we're committing to living our life in integrity, we're not committing to doing the right thing based on other people. We're committing to living our life whole. Maybe another. What we do is we find ourselves a standard to live by. That's our standard. Our standard to live by. Now, most of the time, integrity, we look at words that are synonymous like credibility, honesty, morality, consistency, trustworthiness, dependability, reliability, and my favorite, authenticity. But we're talking about finding our own moral compass and not wavering from that internal sense of knowing of who we really are. So we're talking here about three main elements, and they all go together. We're talking about energy management, congruence, and alignment. So let's dig into what do we mean by these things? What is energy management? So this is that flow that we talked about, that we got into in our meditation, that flow of energy that we know is within and around us all the time. We want that unbroken flow of life force energy because we can feel it when there's a breach. You can feel it. That's anything that interrupts or blocks that flow. Our incongruence, not being real, being inauthentic, blocks the flow. Anything we're withholding, hiding, masking, resisting, and fighting blocks that energy flow. Anyone ever deal with those old Christmas lights and trying to get them all relit the next year? They're better now, but if you had some of those old ones, you'd plug them in and then you realize there's this whole stretch that isn't lighting up. So you got to go through every darn one, figuring out which light bulb it is that's causing the problem. It's like that in our body. When there's something that we're hiding or blocking, something that gets off, that's not in alignment with who we are, it blocks the flow of energy to everything else we want to do and be. So we have to figure out where that light bulb went off. We are meant to be a flowing system. Just look at our digestion. If you take in and you don't release, that's a problem. I think we've all been there, right? It's very natural to visualize energy like a stream flowing. We don't want a boulder in the middle of our stream blocking it all up. So that's what we talk about when we're talking about energy management, allowing ourselves to feel that flow, even in our emotional state. So we're not spinning within and stuck inside ourselves. And it fits with this idea of congruence. Congruence now is the practice of matching the internal with the external. That means anything I'm feeling inside, especially when it's important, especially when it's lasting and it's staying with me, whether it's frustration, gratitude, confusion, hurt, if it is within me, then I need to be congruent with that, honor that, understand that, process that. I may even need to speak that in order for my energy to flow again, to stay in congruence. So when we're withholding, and I think we've all known people who we think, I think they're trying to be nice. They seem like they want to like me, but there's something ingenuine about them. They don't seem happy. Is it me? I think we've all encountered those people, or in our relationships, either have experienced our partner or been the one that says, fine, I'm fine. I said it's fine. Anyone believing that for a second? Yeah, we know when we're not congruent, and we know when someone else is not being congruent with us. Oh boy, is that draining. Not only for us, but for everyone around us, trying to help and figure it out. And we disconnect from who we really are. It takes tremendous energy to mask. And when we're doing this, we're in a protective part of ourselves. We're not in alignment. We're not in congruence with that divine essence. We put a big rock in our stream. So what we want to do is think of that old saying, watch the tongue in the shoe, not the tongue in the mouth. We talk about observing people's behavior. The tongue in the shoe is like those sneakers, that part that's in the middle that you lace over, that's the tongue. So they say, watch people's behavior, because sometimes their words are not incongruent. And what we want to do is we want the tongue in our shoe and the tongue in our mouth to be going the same direction. And we'd have to go find one later, right? It takes a lot less time. And we're honoring that part of ourselves. So we want them to be going in the same direction, and we want a direction to go towards. That's when we talk about alignment. We need a direction to go in. So we need to find purpose for ourselves in the both short and long term. Something to aim towards. I don't care if your purpose is being a nice person, finding joy, building an empire, whatever your purpose is, be clear about that. You need something to give your experiences, your actions, intentionality. This can change. You can change your purpose. That's okay. as long as you know where you're going. It's easier to find your way, find your behavior, speak your truth when you know where you're going. We know what you want. So this means that we have to figure out what that is for us, even on its base level. And it's not, you don't have to find the meaning of life. It's not that deep. You just have to find what engages you, what gives you direction. In the book they quoted, it's knowing what you're up to in the world and having devotion to it. So know what you're up to in the world. What is it that you're creating? What's important to you? What do you want people to feel when they're around you? How do you want to feel? And align your decisions and actions with that. But it does take first understanding ourselves. We have to be clear with ourselves. We have to listen to ourselves. I know I can be guilty of forgetting to do that. We have to be honest with ourselves and what's really going on. Develop and evaluate our values, our life philosophy. And then living from that, so that our actions are living from a whole being, not a fractured or inconsistent self. Anyone see the movie Inside Out? It's a really good one. Or the second one, also really good. I highly encourage them. They're Disney movies, and they're based on internal family systems. The idea that there are parts of us. There are parts of us that act up. And in this movie, the parts, like the anxiety part, will act up. And then it acts from a part of itself, not the whole. And all the actions come from this part that's anxious. And what we want to do is anchor into our core self. The parts can inform us, but we act from the core knowing of who we are. I have a great article I want to read that I found online, and it was from peacefulmindfullife.org. And the article is called Living with Integrity. And it's a woman's internal report of what it was like for her to find herself. And I'm going to read you an excerpt because I think it just really epitomizes what we're talking about. She says, "Not long ago, I considered myself a bad decision maker. I felt like I just couldn't make choices, no matter what the circumstance. And whatever I actually did make a choice, it felt forced, uncomfortable, and usually brought me to situations that didn't make me feel good. I relied on external cues and societal pressures to decide who I was, what I wanted, rather than turning inward. And so, I was consistently unhappy. For that long period of time, I thought that this was just a personality defect, that that's how I would always live my life, and that there was something wrong with my ability to discern, decide, or consciously choose. Of course, now I know that that's simply not true. I was just so far out of touch with myself, my desires and my choices, and my decisions were actually impossible then. I wasn't living in integrity. How could I? I didn't even know what I cared about or how to honor that. Now that many years have passed and I've done extensive soul-searching work, I find that I've unearthed a solid sense of self that I can rely on and I know how to decide from. There's a knowingness of who I am, what I want, and the impact that I wish to leave on the world. There's an alignment with my soul that allows me to choose with ease and find comfort in knowing that I am honoring that alignment. This is how I live my life with integrity now. The knowledge of who I am, in addition to what I want and what I value, gives me clues on how to make decisions and support my life's mission. And it all feels good. And when I've somehow misstepped, because we all do, oh, I feel it, I know it, and I course correct. Living with integrity is honoring your soul's deepest desires and making choices that are in alignment with it. It's a reprioritization of your life. It's taking back your power of choice to bring you back to a place of calm, peace, and ease. Living with integrity is a constant state of connection with self and aligned action so that we can fully live out our soul's purpose. I'm going to say that last sentence again because I think it summarizes this entire talk. Living with integrity is a constant state of connection with ourself, I would say divine self, and aligned action so that we can fully live out our soul's purpose. Now that's beautiful. That I can get behind. I think we want to live in aligned action, connection with ourselves, and we want to live aligned with our soul's purpose. Now, thinking about how to do so and not living from those parts can feel like a lot sometimes. The good news is, if you've been listening to these weeks of commitments, and you can always go back and look, we're already on track. There are 4 pillars of integrity created by Gay and Kathleen Hendricks, and they build on what we've already been talking about. So if you've been following, you're already online. In order to be a person in integrity, they're asking us to take 100% responsibility. To show up for our own life. To say, okay, this is mine. I am here to do this. This is about me. Anything that shows up is for me. And taking responsibility for that. It's empowering. We speak authentically. And Sasha told us about that. And how that actually propels us forward. It feels good. To be in integrity, we feel our feelings all the way through to completion. We don't have those energy blocks stuck within us. We address them. We connect to them. We process them. We listen to those parts, and we help integrate. And we are impeccable with our agreements. Now, that's the one we haven't talked about yet, so you know that's the one we're going to talk about a little bit more. There's a great website that I found, and it's conscious.is. And this actually follows the book that we're doing. And they have not only all those agreements, but they have worksheets on every chapter. So if you want to dig into any one, it's where I would go, conscious.is. They have an inventory asking you to take a look. Am I in integrity with myself? And on this inventory, there are 4 sections. One is they ask us to take a look at where we have unfelt emotions. Where have I not felt my feelings all the way through? And they have boxes with family, with my partner, my friends at work, my neighbor, and it just goes through and has us take a look. Where I might have unfelt emotions? The next box is where might I have unkept agreements? Where might I have dropped the ball? Anywhere? Same categories. Then we have unowned responsibility. Where might I be blaming? Am I blaming my job? My boss? Am I blaming the world? The economy? My neighbor and their fence they're building? Where might I be blaming? And where might I have unsaid communication? Where might I be withholding something? Now, I'm not going to ask you to do this today. We don't need anybody keeping accountability for us but us. It's none of my business. But if you want to check out and get curious of, do I feel in integrity, in wholeness with my being? Or are there any pukas, any holes in my wholeness? That's a great place to look. And we can check ourselves. How do I feel about these things? What do I need? Okay, next. So, of course, we haven't talked about these agreements. Now, what is that about? Agreements are anything you said you're going to do or you said I'm not going to do. All we're looking for here is follow through, consistency, and honesty. Just being honest here. Now, when they talk about in the book, an agreement is between 2 parties. And agreements can even be with myself and me. So we think about, am I keeping and honoring agreements with myself? Even, I said I was going to do some self-care this weekend, but I don't have time. Am I honoring my agreement with myself and me? Now they say big and small agreements, broken, any kind, breaks the flow of energy. That's that boulder we put in the stream. So we work on making clear and aligned decisions. It's not about deciding you're going to help and do everything. Not at all. Thank goodness. But it's really about when I make a decision and an agreement, does that work for me? Does that fit for me? And we have to check in with ourselves. I know oftentimes I get really excited because something is in alignment with what my purpose is. Yes, I want to help. And I forgot sometimes to check in. How are we? Where's our energy at? What are we doing that week? What did we already commit to? I forget that. And that leads me to later feel like I'm not in congruence because what's happening on the inside is, I don't have time for this. I can't do this. Why did I say I was going to do this? And the outside is, yep, we're going to do that. So it's not that you have to honor all agreements because sometimes something doesn't serve you. It's no longer in alignment with your divine self. So instead, we renegotiate. It is okay to renegotiate your agreements because what you're doing is you're being genuine, being authentic. You're coming forward and you're speaking your truth. That is always okay. If we break an agreement, however, meaning we have to come back because we didn't show up, we didn't do what we said we're going to do, what it takes is honesty and communication then too. Again, it's not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being you. It's about being whole. We can do this. Because as we know, when we're not in integrity, it hurts. When we're not in integrity, we're breaking our energy, we're incongruent, we're misaligned, we have broken agreements, we're fractured, and we don't feel good. This is not about others all the time. It's also about ourselves. We don't feel good. The opposite of integrity ends up being hypocrisy. When we lack integrity, we're often making decisions from how we think it'll look. We make decisions and take actions based on performance for approval, or we're acting out of one of those fear parts, those survival parts, trying desperately to shore things up because we're afraid. But we know that when we're doing that, we're not quite in the flow, are we? We're not having faith. We're not trusting in the divine. We're not in alignment with who we really are. Because when we can get back in that stream, we know that when we are our divine self, everything is going to be as it's supposed to be. You can't do more than what can't be done. There's no need to try to do that. Be supported in the stream. So we end up sending mixed signals to ourselves and the universe when we're not congruent, and our credibility drops like a rock. We lose respect, trust, break relationships, and that's both on the external and the internal. There's a brief little story I'd like to share that kind of illustrates that. And it's called The Boy with the Slingshot. While on a summer vacation at his grandparents' farm, Sammy accidentally shot his grandma's pet duck with a slingshot. Oh, it didn't feel good. But in a panic, he hid it behind a pile of wood. Because he didn't want to upset Grandma, and it was very upsetting in general. Unknown to him, however, his sister Marie saw the whole thing. So the next day, Grandma called Marie to wash the dishes. Instead of coming to help, however, Marie simply said, "Oh, Sammy said he wanted to help in the kitchen today, Grandma." Sammy, confused, because he said no such thing, was looking around, very startled, and Marie walked right up to him and whispered, "Remember the duck?" Uh-oh. It was then that he realized Marie saw everything that happened. He was internally panicked. His heart rate went up, and he was constantly hypervigilant, always looking around for if Marie was happy, if Marie was going to say something. He felt bad. He was constantly thinking about it. It was on his mind day and night. This went on for several days. It was painful until one day, Sammy just couldn't take it anymore. He was bursting inside. Everything hurt. he went up to Grandma and told her everything that had happened. And instead of scolding him, his grandma gave him a big hug and said, "I knew it all along. I was just waiting to see how long before you would tell me, so Marie would stop blackmailing you." So the moral of this kind of sad story is that the more we hide our mistakes or hide our inner selves, the heavier the burden on our consciousness, the more painful it is to walk around with this untruth, this not us inside of ourselves. And instead, we could simply free ourselves. Even biblically, we know that the truth shall set you free. It is easier for people to also take advantage of us when we're not living in authenticity, when we're not our divine self. So even though it can be scary to speak things that aren't always fun, that don't always feel good, that makes us whole. And cognitive dissonance arises, right? Which is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when our beliefs and our behaviors are not in alignment. And in fact, they're contradictory. So we either live with that discomfort long enough to change it, or we end up rationalizing. Sammy could have said something like, "Who cares? I didn't care about that duck anyway." Or, "I don't care about Grandma's feelings," or, "It wasn't that big a deal." Or even, "I think it was somebody else. You missaw that." We can rationalize and make up things to shift that. It is actually the most potent enemy to integrity is rationalization. Because what you're doing is you're letting that fearful part of you come up with an explanation, to be the one in charge. Knowing that's not your real self, it only lasts for so long. So when we can get back into that flow, remember who we truly are, take a moment to center. There's so many beautiful benefits from being a whole being. We maintain our energy. It feels better physically. We build trust and credibility and respect with ourselves, others, and the world. And we can trust ourselves to make decisions for us, for the real us. They've done research that shows that people who demonstrate high integrity have an increased likelihood to experience a sense of autonomy. That's why we called this talk Freedom Through Integrity. Because there truly is more freedom when you're the whole being of you. You don't have to think about how you're going to make yourself up. You're free to make choices in alignment with your values, and it's easier to navigate life's challenges. You have an increased solid sense of self and emotional balance. You're free to be your divine self. So we need to be like Navy ships that are described as watertight integrity, because they are leak-proof. No matter what's happening around them, they stay whole. And even if something was to happen internally, we've all been there, where maybe an internal bomb goes off and we start to panic. Well, in watertight integrity Navy ships, they have a way to navigate, seal off one part so they can deal with it, address it, and the rest of the ship is not affected. It's whole. It remains contained. It stands up to a lot of adversity without giving up or giving in. And when we're in that stream, we know who we are. When we have watertight integrity, it's so much easier to stand up no matter what is happening. Last concept we'll talk about is Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers is, he was the founder of humanistic psychology. Really great guy, talked about unconditional positive regard we need for the people we work with, and that was one of the biggest healers. Well, he has a thought about how we reach self-actualization. Something I think all of us are here for. This idea that it's the highest level of psychological development. The idea that we become everything we're capable of becoming. When you come to a place like this, I know you're in alignment with that. I know you're intrigued by that. He says in order to do that, we must be in a state of congruence. And when I looked at what he meant by that, he's talking about the definition of integrity through this chapter. So he says, when our ideal self, the self we want to be, is congruent with our perceived or actual self, we are living in congruent alignment and have self-actualization. So let's see what this looks like. In incongruence, we have that ideal self, the person I want to be, deep down. And we have this perceived self, the self that I see, the self that others see, the self that I'm actually acting from. And you see that little overlap? I'm adding this part here. That's our divine aligned self, where they match, where we're incongruent. That's the real part of us. Now, it's a little sliver there. It's a little sliver. It means there are times in which that aligns and feels good. But when we're in congruence, real congruence, that ideal self and that perceived self overlap. And we're living 90% of the time from that divine aligned self within you, from that stream of beautiful consciousness. That's the place we want to be, to have the freedom, that felt freedom that integrity brings. This is the real you, the honest you, the version of you that is free to live that soul's purpose, like she shared in that article. This is what I want for you, and this is what I want for me. Be free to be you, as we've talked about many times. So to have this internal freedom, let's read our affirmation together. So I'm going to put it up here, or you can use your little sheet you've been given. So together, I commit to the masterful practice of integrity, including acknowledging all authentic feelings, expressing the unarguable truth, and keeping my agreements. And so it is. Thank you.
So it is. Kuleana, responsibility and agreements. These are the choices we have to make in life, and what an honor it is to be able to come clean with our hearts and share the light of love that dwells within us all. Mahalo ke akua. Thank you, Kayla. What an honor it is to have you doing what you do for us. And now's the time in our service where we'll take our gifts and offerings and collect our tithes, support of the ministry. And so there are many ways in which you can make your donation, for which we are abundantly grateful. Someone's going to appear up on the board over here. We also have the PayPal QR code in the back, and the tithing bowls as our ushers get ready to come forward and collect the tithes. And so if there's any spare change in the sanctuary, there's a little box right back there. That's our building fund. So throw a little spare change into this building fund box, and we truly appreciate all your time, treasures, and talents. And now, please, congregation, take your gifts in your hands, and we'll join together in saying our offertory prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And so it is. And now we have a little more music with Faith, I believe. Yeah. Okay. All right. She's going to rock this world.
You're gonna rock it with me, Kayla. I always learn so much from you. Thank you. So this song is another together song, and it's a song about expressing the real us, our togetherness and our wholeness. So yes, a lot of moments for you to sing along too. Okay, here we go. So repeat after me on the verses. Here we go. Oh, 1 second. Okay. I got you. Okay, one more time, because I have no intro. You got it, Patrick. Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Together we break the chains of sorrow. Together we live the truth. That's right. Together we raise our voice for peace. Together we sing and jump for joy. Together we move, we groove, we dance. Together we live the truth. Okay, if you feel like actually standing up, don't fight the feeling. In every part of me, there's a part of you. Oh yeah, all right. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah, all right. Today we live the truth, and the future's bright. Oh, oh, we, oh, 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 we, oh, 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 we, oh. Together we walk our talk with spirit. Together we boldly shape our dreams. Together we share this life of freedom. Together we live the truth. And here's the truth. In every part of me, there's a part of you. Oh yeah, all right. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah, all right. Today we live the truth, and the future's bright. Oh, oh, we, oh, 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 we, oh, 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 we, oh, the future's bright. Oh, oh, we, oh, 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 we, oh, 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 we, oh. We live and breathe as one. With kindness and compassion, we free our love. We free our lights. We free the truth. And the future's bright. Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Together we break the chains of sorrow. Together we live the truth. Sing it with me. In every part of me, in every part of me, there's a part of you. Oh yeah, all right. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah, all right. Today we live the truth, and the future's bright. Oh, oh, we, oh, 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 we, oh, 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 we, oh, the future's bright. Oh, oh, we, oh, 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 we, oh, 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 we, oh, the future's bright. Oh, oh, we, oh. Thank you, guys. You're awesome.
Well, that got half the sanctuary up and dancing. Oh. Oh, thank you so much, Faith. What an honor it is. Whew, take a breath and away we go. Oh. Now's the time where we'll bless these offerings. And so coming up here, our ushers coming forward, we'll do a blessing for this gifts and offerings. For through Spirit we know that as we give, so shall we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will, your work in this ministry, in our lives, and in our community. And so it is. Mahalo ke akua. Thank you, God. Don't miss next Sunday. Reverend Sophia's got her topic, Living from the Grateful Heart. Dive into a transformative practice of appreciation. Our music next week will be Kona Blend. Okay. And so in closing, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us here today, coming in on live on Facebook or YouTube and anywhere you might be coming from, Twitch and here in the sanctuary. Tell your friends and family about the Facebook event and so we can share this light of God to the world. What an honor it is to be here in Kailua Kona sharing this love. Don't forget we have a little bit of food upstairs after service. And now it's time to make this hold our hands and make a circle there in the sanctuary right behind the front cameras as we do our closing songs. Let there be peace on earth and aloha oi.
We got this.
Oh, yeah. All right, we got a beautiful circle. What an amazing group we have here. What an honor it is to share the light of love every Sunday. So join us again, my friends. And until then, we'll do Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth,
And let it begin with me. And as we live with faith and integrity, we'll hold each other in our hearts coming back next week. And until we meet again, let's do Aloha Oi.
Aloha Oi, Aloha Oi, Eke Ora Ora no Ikalipo. One fond embrace, A'oia Yao, until we meet again.
Or we say, ahui ho, until we meet again, my friends. God bless you all.